45.5 overs. India's first game in the build-up to a new ODI World Cup cycle hasn't lasted half the length of a regular 50-over game. Rarely in the next 4 months, which will see the end of the World Cup, are they likely to have it as easy as they did, because it was a calypso capitulation in Bridgetown. West Indies shot out for just 114, and India, despite using Rohit Sharma as number 7 and Virat Kohli not coming out to bat, getting over the line quite comfortably in 22.5 overs. Wasim Jaffer here to look back on a very quick game. Here I was fearing a 3 a.m. finish, Wasim, and we've had a half day because, well, West Indies didn't really show up.
Yes, they didn't, and that's the disappointing bit. Their woes against in this format and in general continues. Even though I thought the pitch wasn't great, it had a little bit of up and down pace. It had a little bit of help uh, to the spin. But again, not batting 50 overs, not getting to a decent score, probably 210, 20 would have been a fighting score on this. So yeah, they'll be disappointed with the show.
Was it a performance that makes you think it's not so surprising that they won't feature at this World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the reason why they have, they've lost in the qualifiers to, teams which are obviously not as great as what West Indies used to be. Obviously, you got to give credit to the other teams who have played well against them. But yeah, I mean, they didn't show up today. And again, the quality of the batting and the application needed against a good, decent bowling attack. They just didn't turn up other than, Sheho.
Yeah, and you mentioned the gulf in quality, uh, so visibly exposed as soon as the spinners came into play. Because at 88 for 3 and 15.4 overs, it didn't look all that bad. Enter Ravindra Jadeja and then Kuldeep Yadav, 7 for 26 and 44 balls. Kuldeep finishing with 4 for 6, Jadeja with a 3 for. Let's talk Jadeja first, because it's his first 3-wicket haul in ODIs, Wasim, would you believe it, in nearly 5 years. And the first time he's done so away from home in an ODI in almost a decade. How much of that was his craft and how much of it was the ineptitude of the West Indian batters?
I think obviously both of that helped. Both, I would say that helped him get those wickets. Once he got to know that there's a spin and bounce in this pitch, watching it on the TV, I could sense that Ravindra Jadeja is in the game, and he obviously made it count. But in generally, you don't get this kind of wicket, on ODI surfaces. You get good batting wickets where scores of 280, 300, or even more. So obviously Jadeja doesn't get that help. So when he gets this kind of help, he's dangerous. And obviously the lack of skill of playing spin bowling in the West Indies camp also helped. So there was some really soft dismissal, and they were absolutely clueless in few of their shots.
Yeah, and if they were looking inept against Jadeja, West Indies looked just insipid against Kuldeep in those 3 overs he bowled, continuing his happy habit of at times just running through lower orders when people can't read him. Does that in a way provide Kuldeep with a very unique value, bringing a unique value to this team in terms of just getting through the tail?
I mean, that's what the wrist spinners can do. If you can't pick him, then you can't play him. Sometimes to a finger spinner, you know what's coming out. But with the wrist spinners, the ball can go both ways. And that's what happens. I mean, other than Shea Hope, obviously he's got the big wicket, but by the time it was 7 or 8 down already. But the other guys obviously couldn't pick him, couldn't pick the line, couldn't pick the spin. So that's what the wrist spinners can do. They can break partnership, and obviously they can run through the tail, and that's what Kuldeep is good at. When he gets it going, he can run through a side and get you that double or triple strike in a very quick time, and that's exactly what he did today.
A quick word on the India Pacers, because they too had taken 3 wickets in the first 8.5 overs. Hardik Pandya bowling the first over of an ODI for only the second time in his career. Did that surprise you, seeing Hardik with the new ball?
No, I I didn't get surprised, but I was a little surprised that he only bowled 3 overs. I would have liked him to bowl 5 or maybe 6 overs. And I thought he bowled well. Only the 1 over was a little expensive. Uh, so I was a little surprised that he was taken off after 3 overs. And like I said before, Shardul is not known to bowl with the new ball. Umran Malik's control with the new ball, uh, because he's not a consistent ODI player, so they would have wanted him to bowl after the power play. So that's understandable, that he would have probably come in and bowl, but I would have liked him to bowl a 5 or 6 over spell. And if he's bowling 5, 6 over spell, then you can have Akshar in the team as well. If the pitch is spinning, then Akshar can come into the side, and obviously your batting gets strengthened, because looking at the larger picture, Akshar Patel, I see him playing. So if he gets more game time under the belt, because the pitches are going to spin. So if Hardik Pandya gives you 5, 6 overs with the new ball, I think, we can squeeze in Akshar Patel.
There's also first sightings of Mukesh Kumar, who got his ODI debut. I know the conditions were helpful, at least with the new ball, but he did appear to have a bit more bite than of what we saw of him in the IPL. What did you make of this? What are your first impressions?
I think it was decent. He started steadily. He bowled the first over maiden, obviously, so that's a good start. He used the crease really well, which I saw in the test matches also. He changes that angle, which is a good thing. I just think that he needs to improve a yard or two in his pace. Sometimes, uh, it comes out a little slower. It doesn't run in and hit the deck hard, kind of a bowler. That's what I feel he needs to improve if he needs to be, challenging batsmen at this level. So that's what he needs to improve. But I thought it was a decent start. Not really great. This is something which is expected of him, because he's got a repeatable action, and he puts it at the good areas. He got a wicket very early, even though it was a short and wide one. But I feel he just need to improve a yard or two in his pace, and he'll be very handy.
Looking at the second innings, I think Indian fans will have a lot of complaints with the Indian bowlers because if they do love watching Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli bat in this format. They waited 4 months for an India ODI, and a target of 115 sees the two of them decide, okay, we're not going to come out. What that meant was a great chance for Ishan Kishan. He got a great chance in the match itself. We thought maybe it will be Samson who will be the keeper with a middle order role, but not only did Kishan get to play, he also got the role of opener in this uh, lesser target, and he's made the most of his opportunity.
Yeah, I think he played well. Getting a 50, in a little bit of challenging condition. With the new ball, it was a little bit of challenge. I thought their spinners bowled decently, and he played well. Took them on as and when the opportunity came. But I would have loved to, see him finish the game and get a 70 odd not out. So all in all, I thought he played well. Could have obviously finished the game, if I can tell him a little critical.
To that point, if we can just delve deeper, do matches like these, a series like these, even though it boosts the morale to get the runs, if you're looking at the broad role for Ishan Kishan as the backup wicket keeper who comes in as a middle order batter, does this then become a game or an innings that doesn't really tell you much, doesn't teach you much because he's not getting to bat in the role that you're imagining him to be in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that he's probably the second wicket keeper in the management's thought, because KL Rahul obviously comes in, and again he can bat anywhere. He has opened in the past. He's done so well at number 5, and I think Ishan Kishan can also do that. He's opened. He's got double hundred at the top of the order, and now they're looking to bat him at the middle order. That's why he's played today, because if the game had gone well, if India had batted first, or if we were chasing a big target, then you would have seen Ishan Kishan bat at number 4, and then we would have found out how he bats at number 4. But I think he can do a job there. He's good enough player to play at number 4. Uh, but yeah, I mean that's probably the management's thought, that he's the second wicket keeper, and He could open if needed to, and then if you want to see him or check how he bats at middle order, probably this is his opportunity. But today, because the target was so less, they probably wanted to give him more game time, which is understandable.
Right. So that just about does it. Not a lot to talk about from this game, from this series opener. But I want to end with a pop quiz, Wasim. When was the
Hmm.
last time Virat Kohli did not feature in the top seven of a batting lineup?
Probably when he didn't play at all. Uh, Other than that, I can't remember.
I'll give it to you because we've seen a first in Bridgetown. It's the first time in Virat Kohli's professional career that he's not
Hmm.
featured in the top seven. So, first ODI,
Exactly.
it gave us a lot. Virat Kohli, who has hit hundreds in his two most recent ODI innings in West Indies. So, for his fans, they'll look forward to maybe India batting first the next time around.